I would not be in Mexico without Sarah. And, it was her that got the burden before me. And she actually married me believing by faith that God would change my heart. I mean, I did tell her, look, I'm open. I'll go to Africa. I'll go to Asia. I'll go to Mexico. I'll go anywhere. But, not on your word. God needs to speak to me too. And she married me by faith because she really was committed to that. And so when God changed my heart, it was literally overnight. I woke up one morning and I said, Sarah, we're moving to Mexico. And she said, don't you mock my calling. She thought I was joking, but I wasn't joking. It was an overnight where God put that calling. Now, we didn't leave for over 2 years after that, which were actually the two most difficult years waiting to be sent and doing things right.
Yeah, but let's say you've got a church planter who's coming into that culture and he feels a real burden for that culture. His spouse supports the vision of church planting. She's just struggling because this culture is different. And going to this market, the local market is different, making change, public transportation, language, school for the kids. And the spouse is just struggling. What advice would you give him? What encouragement?
Yeah, I would, first of all, when we send out a church planter, the wife has to tell us these words, I am called. Mm-hmm. The wife has to tell us.
Not he is called?
No, not he is called.
Yeah.
Not he is called and I will submit. That sounds great in a pastor's office, but it doesn't cut it when you get out there and life's falling apart. So the wife actually has to say, I am called, because she's going to have to lean on her own calling. But that's a new rule we put in about 10 years ago, because a couple of our church plants failed when we were fine with the wife saying I'll submit, but when they got out on the field and all hell broke loose, she had real trouble submitting and believing that he was actually called. How could he be called if things are so difficult? So what I would say for a man, it's mainly the husband's job. You be gentle, you'll be supportive. Don't put any burdens on your wife. Let her know she's invited to join you in any of the activities, but she doesn't have to, especially if you move to the mission field with little kids. I know you did that. Mm-hmm. We moved to Mexico with a 2-year-old girl and a 2-week-old boy, which is about the dumbest thing any church planter could ever do. But that's what we did. And we never even thought that it would be make life harder. But my wife was so tough and so strong, and she had that calling though. And so, but again, if she's really struggling, then the husband really needs to just minister to her and love her and listen to her and, maybe spend more time with her. And
that goes across the board, not just for international missions church planting. That's church planting in general. You're planting down the street. Your spouse has to be on the same page.
Yeah, amen. So. But how do you go about, or what would you suggest to prepare the spouse just for the culture shock, so to speak, of uprooting, leaving family, leaving friends, leaving familiar for this new culture, whether it's within their country or in a distinct country? What do you recommend?
Yeah, well, the way we train them up is we have our wives in the church planting class with the husbands.
Fantastic.
And we did not do that for a while. My dream was my wife would have a big burden to raise up church planting wives. My wife works.
How's that dream going?
It's going great, because now I realize it was never God's dream. And so what I realized after a while, my wife works full time. She's an awesome lady.
Amen.
Is that I need to do it. She's not the pastor.
So you're living the dream.
Yeah, actually, it's amazing. So now I'm much closer to the church planting wives. I mean, my wife gets to know them and she loves them, but I'm much closer to the church planting wives, and they're in the church planting class, and they do amazing, by the way. They study harder. A lot of times they're a better teacher, and they get a closer relationship with me. So periodically, I get a call from a church planting wife. Would you call my husband? Something like that. And I'm like, absolutely. I'm sure he's really sorry for whatever he's doing, but yes, I will call him. And
we get those calls too.
Yeah. And so the best I can do is I try my best now to help them and train them before they go, and make sure that they know that they can call me and check in with me, and if they need help, call me, and if they need marriage counseling, call me or whatever. And so it's been difficult, but the best thing that we've been doing is having the wives now in the church planting course so they can ask questions along the way.